All right. Peter Michaels.
Hi, Patrick Bateman.
Hello.
Welcome.
Don't you wish you could? Can you do a perfect Mrs. Doubtfire hello?
No.
Have you ever in your life?
Probably.
We were working a hockey game. Ryan and Riley and I a few weeks ago, and I brought up Mrs. Doubtfire, and someone in the background just out of the blue pulled out a pretty good
one.
Robin Williams hello. Yeah.
Huh, yeah.
It's fun. That was a very important movie to me.
If it's not Dumb and Dumber, or Forrest Gump, I probably don't quote it very regularly.
Oh, fair enough. But did you watch Mrs. Doubtfire a lot?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but
Have you watched it as an adult?
we did watch it with the kids.
It's a bit different as an adult.
Definitely different as an adult. and
Very
you don't-
heavy.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like
That's what we were watching with the kids. We're like, oh, this wasn't quite the.
This is a very heartbreaking divorce movie.
Yes.
This is Kramer. It's Kramer versus Kramer, and then Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not here to talk about Mrs. Doubtfire or divorce.
Oh, okay.
So
Boring.
boring. Why are we here, Pete?
We are here for episode 40 of the Road to Stage.
6?
Mm.
Shit, man. I don't know. Peter Van Helvoort was last week.
Which was amazing.
Yeah.
Such a great guy. And so, just not a household name, but one of those unsung heroes of the music biz, right?
Yeah, been in it for a long time.
And in some great bands.
Yeah.
Put out some great music. He's done, he was doing the stage tech stuff or the guitar tech stuff with the Glory Sons, onto the stage with the... Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a band that or a musician, Peter Van Helvoort, that I can have a hard time talking about because I know I'm very biased.
And so do you know him personally, or was it all just through music that...
Just through music and friends of friends who were going to see his shows in places like the YMCA of Oakville and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then, just random messages over the years. I mean, I've been a huge supporter, so... Yeah, anyways, it was a nice time to chat with him, and I think he was very happy about it because we've talked since, so...
Perfect. Good.
And so is our guest tonight.
Yes, this is a fun one tonight. We've got a little bit of history with our guest tonight.
Yeah, which we will delve into.
We'll delve into that. Shout out to Go Services, Inc.
Hello.
And Bo's Bar and Stage.
Yes, the home of about to be many concerts. Holy hell. Are you prepared?
Things are happening. I am.
Are your holes ready?
So ready. Although I don't know, because, it's funny. When the first show back, when the pandemic first hit, last show was March 10th, which was the Glorious Sons. Mm-hmm. And then I don't think there was another live music experience until it was October when Whale and the Wolf had done a show at Bo's.
Behind the plexiglass.
But I do remember leaving that night going, geez, my ears are legit out of shape.
I felt that way because I wasn't at that show, but I was at a showcase with 9 or 10 bands one night, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta start wearing those earplugs.
There's not a lot of large volume things going on in your life?
No, just me yelling at a screen.
You're living pretty close to the highway. You don't get that loud highway noise?
No, definitely not. Not. But yes, so tonight's episode featuring none other than Sally Shaar from a band called the Monowhales. Now, today I saw a very cool, it was Monday. It is Monday today when we're recording this.
Yes.
And the Monowhales do covers on Mondays, I believe.
Yes, yep.
And they posted a short cover of them doing an OBGM song. Which we're definitely hoping to get the OBGMs on soon. They're going on tour with Death from a Gov. Death from a Gov?
A Gov.
Death from a Gov.
A Governor.
So they're going on tour with them in the fall, which I'm very excited about because the OBGM's pretty sick.
And I think after we have a little chat with Sally, we're going to want to see the Monowhales on stage sometime soon, too.
Yes. So what are you trying to say?
Let's get into episode
podcast,
40.
Baby. Sally, what's going on?
Just so happy to be here and to see you guys.
Yeah, you too. It's been feels like it's been quite a while.
Yeah, I'm sad it's not IRL, but I'll take what I can get.
One of these days, actually, I mean, maybe sooner than later. You guys are going to be out here fairly soon, right?
As you know, yeah, I'll be there soon, so maybe we will do it.
So,
I was trying to think of the last time we had you in Red Deer, because you guys did perform at the station in Red Deer, I want to say. I think we've had you guys at the station in Red Deer twice.
Yeah, definitely twice.
And the one time you performed, and then the first time you guys were there, I don't know, do you remember your first visit to the drive in Red Deer?
I do, yes.
Because we had a staff meeting when you guys came.
Yeah.
And you guys
Yeah,
ran
you did.
around the building, and when everybody came out of the staff meeting, there was Monowhale stickers on everybody's desk.
I did
And
not
you
know
don't-
that's how that happened.
You don't remember that?
No, because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I've interviewed you twice, I want to say. And
Yeah.
once was in the boardroom at the station, I think.
In the boardroom, and
Yeah.
that's when they would have performed.
Okay.
So there would have been that one, and then there was also the
Right. Interesting.
I mean, I feel like it meshes a bit together because it was the same office.
It was the same bit, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. I remember you guys have snacks in the lobby. Am I right?
Yes, there's.
These are the things I remember.
Yes, there was, because Karen would have always had the candy,
Right.
and stuff on top of her
Yeah.
desk. But it just
Yeah,
like
but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time.
it just made me
with
think
you
of that.
guys.
You know, it's a long way to the top. So here you are visiting a radio station. Nobody's around because there's a meeting on, but you still made your mark.
Yeah, I'm glad that we could do something, or else we're like, here's some stickers. I don't
Yeah,
know.
It does feel
I'm
like
glad
that.
we could leave a mark.
It does feel like that was a long time ago, though. Right?
Well, I'm trying to think like that. I'm thinking that
2018?
probably like even earlier, maybe than 2018.
Oh, I don't know.
I remember the last time I was there, we took photos in the stairwell.
Right.
That's right. Yep.
I remember that very clearly because we were like trying to get the shot because of the lighting and everything, and we got it. So I remember that was a fiasco.
And
But,
did you guys play either of those times, or were they were both more like promo tours? I think.
At least one of them was a radio promo tour.
Yeah.
I think.
one of them was an interview. Okay, the first one would have been a radio tour because we didn't tour out there, and then the second time would have been a tour. Yeah, for sure. And now the third time will be a tour. For sure. I hope.
And I love to see just the progression. Does it how does it, because again, we're talking probably at least 4 or 5 years from visiting a radio station and handing out stickers because everybody's in a meeting to now coming back and flipping playing with Mother. What?
I mean, the funny part about it is like COVID put everything on pause.
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of for 2 years. So everything is like a bit later of a timeline. But who's to say that like this would have happened at all, like touring with Mother without it, right? So I'm just trying to take it with like, maybe that time off was really well needed for all of this stuff to happen the way it was supposed to. And terrible shit happened. So not disregarding all the people going through such a more difficult time than I did during COVID. But I'm trying to see the positive light in it, or else it's just like terrible. So coming out of it feels good to come out and like be a band still, because a lot of people couldn't make it through. It was difficult to stay, especially as a smaller band at the time, to be able to come out of it and be like, I'm touring with Mother, like, fucking, can I say the F word?
Please do, as much as you want.
We'd be upset if you didn't.
Okay, fucking awesome. Like, what? I'm so excited. I can't wait. That's such a huge honor. And all I've heard is like, because I've never met Mother, but what I've heard is that they've kind of fought for us to be the opener. There was like a couple people trying to get it. And so the fact that they were like, nah, we want to take Monowhales, I can't wait to have that conversation with them and be like, whoa, thank you. Why? I want to know why, but like, thank you. I'm so glad we're here.
That makes sense. And like, when did you guys move from being pretty much a purely independent band to, signing up with some legitimate representation?
Believe it or not, we're still indie.
So
we're still independent. Yeah. So we have a label outside of Canada, but within Canada, we own True Records. So that's our own record label that Monowhales is signed by. And then so our record label got signed as a distribution deal with Warner.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone cares about this, but like,
well, I think it's,
we're technically still independent though.
I say that because I think it is important context that, when did Really Want to Let You Down come out? 2019?
Yeah, I think so. It was like it hit its peak right as the pandemic began.
But
Yeah.
that song, as I read it, made you the only independent band in Canadian radio history to reach number 2 on that alt rock chart.
Right.
Which
yeah.
is a pretty big deal.
Unsigned, unmanaged.
Yeah.
But we do have a manager now after that. So I'm grateful for it. But yeah, we're very, first of all, like I think it takes a lot of many factors. So I think we work really hard. We're really passionate about what we do. And so I don't want to discount that, but obviously there's the other side of it, and it's people like believing in you and wanting to play your songs and all of that, and even straight up, I don't know, luck to some degree. So I feel really grateful. We all feel really grateful that we're in this position right now.
Yeah, I can speak for sure. The team did a great job. Like, I remember that song getting pushed to radio and getting the emails all the time. And yeah, your team definitely did a very good job of getting that support.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a team that like really cares. And I think that's if anyone needs advice of it, like coming up as a band, just do not work with people who are just like meh about what you're doing. Work with people who are champions of you and who care about it. And then that's what happens is like they'll fight for you and be like, yo, play their song, and not just like, hey, maybe play their song. You have people who care about us, and that means a lot to us that exists at all.
So going back, it was funny. We were trying to figure out kind of like when we saw you last, but also the evolution of the Monowhales, which wasn't just the Monowhales however many years ago. It was Ginger Ale and the Monowhales, right?
Yes, you got it.
And then at one point was it Sally Shaar in the Monowhales, or did it just go straight to the Monowhales?
I guess I was always Ginger Ale. Like I never identified as Ginger Ale. Like I don't know. We just thought it was cool, like a band and this, but it wasn't even that I was Ginger Ale. But see, people did call me that sometimes, and I was like, oh no, I'm not going to correct him. I never said to call me this. Like, whatever. No, but we went straight to Monowhales. We just like felt like it was a lot. It was just like a bit much, the long name, and then putting us on posters. It was too Canadian. We're like, we feel bad. Like we're taking up too much space. So we just tried to make it the latter and make it a bit easier for people. And like, to be honest, like this is a brutal truth. I personally preferred Ginger Ale as a name, but there was no way we were going to win that Google SEO slot. That was never going to happen. So Monowhales, however, nobody, not a thing. No one cares. No one wants it. So that was all ours for the taking. And we already had all this stuff that we had done previously show up under Monowhales. So like, yeah, this is like a very boring technical reason why we went with that.
Hell no.
Oh, I love it.
I think that's the first time SEO has been brought up on the Road the Stage.
I think you're right, and it is like, honestly, it's
really terrible.
No, but it is. It's so important. There are so many bands that, I mean, you want to have a name that's kind of somewhat common and like familiar right away. But you're right, it screws you up when you go searching for stuff. Like I've been listening to the new Spoon album a ton, but like you Google Spoon,
Pottery Barn,
you're not getting the band for a little while. Yeah. Oh man, that is good stuff. If we just take a moment to appreciate Spoon, because I'm a huge Spoon fan, and I just feel like those people, that band can do no wrong. Like it's never bad. It's always straight ahead good. You just like, I don't know, there's people like that. Like I'm like, I'm never worried that I'm not going to like it. I'm just like, oh, okay, new Spoon. I love it. Putting it on.
And it's great.
But anyways, I digress.
This is album, this is like album 7 for them.
Oh, they've been around for a long time.
They've been around for a long time. And I mean, this is being called like the best Spoon album yet.
That doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't happen very often.
Wild. Yeah. Because Hot Thoughts was incredible. An incredible album. But I won't get into it. If we're good, this is like a podcast of me talking about Spoon, because I love Spoon.
We have the podcast we record on Wednesdays, actually.
That's
so
right,
we'll have to
we'll get you back on for that one at some point.
Sweet. Tonight we're doing Fork.
Yeah. Exactly.
Terrible joke. Yeah.
Not that bad. There's been worse.
I'm an old dad. That's that joke's right up my alley. I'm very happy with that.
So the reason we were earlier, just a few minutes ago, talking about how you guys are going to be out here soon is, again, because of that Mother tour, which starts in 2 months, end of April, something like that.
It's true.
And that will bring you to Alberta, Edmonton, May 2nd, and 2 shows in Calgary, the 3rd and 4th of May. That's a pretty jam-packed few days. And are you guys ready? Are you prepared for that tour?
We will be. No, we are. We will be. It's like my head has just been like, all of our heads have been so far into the single.
Yeah.
And like the music in general, like we've been obsessed. Like there was no touring, so we've been obsessively into writing and putting out music. But as of literally like this week, I have the brain that's like, okay, shifting to rehearsal, workout schedule, just like everything to make sure that we can put on the best possible show for everyone while we're out there. And with that being said, actually, here's like a fun fact that nobody really knew because I was weird about it and embarrassed. But like in the past touring, I've almost always been sick, like chronically sick.
Oh.
At every show, my throat was like basically closed up and I couldn't breathe because I had like chronic strep throat and a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I remember literally driving back from Calgary and we're like Googling midnight clinics so I can get antibiotics for the next show. Just like, it's kind of been pre-COVID, it was my life for a while. And then finally during COVID, I was able to finally get diagnosed and get my tonsils out.
Oh,
so
God
I
damn.
feel like, yeah. And the doctor was like, I don't know how you did that. I don't know how you traveled, how you sang at all, breathed at all. So like just on a funner note, like I think that this is going to be the easiest. I don't know, like if I could do that, hell, and play shows and like, holy crap, I don't know what you're going to get anymore. I have no idea what's to come because now I can just like sing easily and run around and not be like chronically sick all the time. So I'm excited to play shows for the first time and not be sick. I don't know.
I bet Zach and Jordan are pretty excited about that too.
Yeah, they were really kind about it, but they really had to deal with me constantly just like fucked up in the back of the van. Like, yeah, it was just our life. At one point I'm like, I guess this is just the life I'm living, but luckily I love it enough that I'm like, well, I guess I'm just sick and doing this forever. But no, I'm good now. I haven't been sick in years, ironically. So
that's amazing.
Did you ever use that, like, there's like a spray that you, like a numbing spray that some singers use from time to time, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I'm like a sicko. Like I have a really high pain tolerance.
Okay.
So like it was pretty bad, but I'm also the kind of person who's like, it's fine. Like, you know, so those, I did have remedies though. Like I won't get into like how intensely I got into the remedies and all the things, my rituals that helped me like get through it. But moving into like new tour territory, I don't even know what to expect from myself even. And I hope that it like just surpasses what I've been able to do in the past. That's what I hope for myself even.
I think it'll happen.
So what would you normally do like 2-3 years ago? What would 2 weeks out from going on tour? Is there anything that you would change? Like, would you be talking less or trying to do something different in those 2 weeks going into it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much that'll change because now I feel like it is habit and ritual. And especially when you're playing like every single night, like the Mother tour, I think I will have precautions of like, I'm like a vocal nerd fully. So yeah, the not talking, I'm obsessed. Like every cup of water I have is like warm lemon, ginger, like herbal. I have friends that are like, I call them wizards, and they make me all these like herbal potions of things that are good for me. And in my bag I'll always have like a million things. I only drink water and kombucha. I'm not like a caffeine kind of person. I don't really drink alcohol. Unfortunately. So you've got a growler out there. But honestly, like it's weird because a lot of these things were really put in place because I couldn't afford to. So like if I were to have a drink or two that night, it would mean just like impossible for me to perform the next day or being way too sick. So I'm excited to even have a drink like on tour and not be so afraid of what would happen to me. But I think I'm still gonna be paranoid because like touring with Mother, like I don't want to, screw that up.
It's also not the days of, I think, showing up on the day of a concert and one of you being sick are probably it's a little dicier and sketchier than it was before the pandemic, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Unless, I mean, are you guys going to be testing all the time? Is that still a factor, or is that we just done with that?
I have no idea what's by then. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's the deal's gonna be. Like, I test. I've had so many tests. Like, I'm so used to it. I don't mind it. Like, other than like not wanting to waste resources. Like, I would do it every day.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it and make sure that not only my bubble is safe, but like the audience is going to be safe. Like, that's important to us.
Yeah, that's honestly, like, going into a tour that's 2 months out, like, so much can happen between now. Like, it looks like things are going to be pretty much wide open, but we really have no idea.
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm kind of like, I can't hope for anything. I've just got to ride whatever's coming my way,
Yeah, let's all hope that there's not another 6 to 8 month delay on those specific shows again.
Because we did have a little blip where we did think things were about to come. And you guys actually ended up, I'm really curious to get your perspective on the show you guys did in Calgary during the pandemic, which was the hotel performance.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And just like, I'd really like to go and experience that just to see what it's like. But from your vantage point, instead of having the crowd out in front of you, like, you're just looking up at a massive structure with people on balconies. Is that?
Honestly, it was the coolest shit ever. It was so cool. Like, if anything, I'm so glad that we got to do that in our lifetime, because like, I don't know if it would have ever happened without a pandemic.
Yeah. No.
Again, not worth the pandemic happening, but with us doing that, we were on a rooftop of a hotel and then facing like an entire row of balconies. And so to go to the concert, you had to buy a ticket to the hotel. Like, you had to get a ticket and a hotel. It's like together. But the dope part about it is then like you're partying like with your group in your room, and you're all on the balcony like with your own drinks and stuff. It's like BYOB. And so it was like this fun party vibe, and it felt really safe for us and for everyone. And then just to be singing in an entire balcony, like singing back at you, it was just so cool. It was like an experience I've never had before, and I'm glad we got to try that. I wish that was like easy and more normal. It's definitely probably more expensive, so not as accessible to everybody. But why I did actually walk, I felt so bad. So I was walking back in, and I thought I was going into the room that was like going into the backstage room after my performance was done. And I ended up just like confidently walking into a room that was not, it was like someone's room. And I opened the door, and I remember as a group of people like, hey, Sally, come in. And I'm like, and I was like, oh my God, like anxiety, like dying inside. Like, I'm so sorry. And they're like, no, come back. And I'm like, no, I gotta go.
You could have had your almost famous moment, right? Join the party, show them how it's done.
I know. I mean, during COVID,
jumping into the pool.
Weird. Oh, that is another thing that I planned. You can't fully plan it, and it's definitely like super illegal and not allowed. And I've gotten in trouble for shit like this before, but I was fully prepared and down to jump into the pool, like at the end of the performance, just like obviously wasn't going to say anything. So when I finally got there, I even rehearsed it, like how I would like potentially jump into the pool off the building, like the roof of the building into the pool.
Yeah.
And then the day of when we arrived, I walked to the edge of the rooftop to see what it would be like to jump into the pool. And it's like 500% I would have died. Like, there's no, like Zach and I looked at it, and he was like, oh, well, that sucks. Like, guess we won't get to do it, because there was no possible way of jumping into that pool and living. So just so you know, if there's ever an opportunity for me to do that, I will do it. And so keep it under, you're like never going to like tell people.
So now
we'll figure it out.
If we can get the Monowhales at Bose, we'll just have like a big giant kiddie pool.
No, you're gonna need. I mean, I guess so. You could dig a proper pool in the back parking lot and then jump off the roof.
Oh, okay. Well,
get a good like 9-footer there,
almost like a dunk tank.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Okay,
there you go.
Sure.
Ooh,
we can make that
I
work.
like the dunk. How about a band on a dunk tank like perch? because that's something I've never seen done before, and I'd like to see it done.
There might be a
And we are the
few
band to do
reasons.
it.
There
So
might be a few reasons.
That's okay. We're
though.
gonna we're gonna mute this part out of the conversation so nobody can hear what we just talked about.
Yeah.
And it's our idea.
Yeah.
We'll work out some of
Yeah.
those kinks because
Yeah.
yes, there could be a few things.
I think electricity is one
electricity might be one of them.
Yeah, yeah,
sure,
that-
as well.
that might
I was
Yeah.
we have a hot tub on our patio, and I was going to string lights.
Ooh.
I had this idea of like kind of stringing lights, and I had these lights going from the house, the roof of the house over to the garage and back and forth and back and forth, back and forth. And then as I was just getting ready to do it, I was just getting ready to hook up the first strand. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. If where the connector is on they're Christmas lights.
Yeah, yeah.
If it somehow comes apart
And falls.
down,
Yeah.
that could be bad.
You got a
So,
bad situation.
Bad situation.
Yeah. Well, we got to work out.
We
the
got
kinks,
to.
and
There's
then we're good to go.
there's an idea there.
Yeah.
We will flush it
Yeah.
out. We'll flush it out.
So
Yeah.
you've got this new single out, which you guys have been crushing it with promoting over the last couple weeks. So Control. It's called Control, right?
Yes, I know that's a question we get a lot. It's like control upper. I don't even know what it's called. Hat, like upper.
Yeah, I'm
What
not
is
sure
that?
either.
Up arrow, up arrow, up arrow. Like here I am, it's my song, and I can't even promote the name of it. Yeah.
But now I'm curious because you put out an album a year ago.
Yeah, we did.
Which obviously with pretty much every band we've talked to on the road, the stage has had to release music, and times where it may not have been the greatest time to put out music. When did you start working on this new track or whatever new music you might have in the pipe?
Yeah, I think that Daytona Bleach was out. We started writing like even at the start of the pandemic, like we were writing on Zoom. So most of this album was written over the internet, like just like this over Zoom.
Daytona Bleach or the next what's to come?
Then what's to come.
Okay,
So
okay.
Daytona Bleach was recorded actually on our last tour that you would have seen us on.
Right.
And we stayed in BC and for almost a month, and we recorded that album. But and we didn't want to wait 2 years to put it out. Like we wanted it to be out there, and we want to constantly be making new music anyways. So we started writing at the beginning of the pandemic, and then I think it was like a year ago, maybe less. I'm terrible at times. Like Zach's gonna see this interview and just be like, yo, it was like 2 months ago, this is what you were wearing. Like he's just so good at that. But it was less than a year ago that we went into the studio, and with a bunch of songs. We didn't even know exactly all the songs we were going to record, and we went in with Dave Schiffman, who's done some incredible albums, and Control was one of the tracks that we recorded, and that one was really tricky because when we wrote it, it was so easy to write. For whatever reason, everything just like the bass was in, and then we was like, okay, this is what the vocals are doing, this is what the guitar. It's like that doesn't always happen. Like sometimes you really have to work at finishing a song, but that one for some reason just like boom, like we knew the vibe, we knew what it wanted, it just all came out. And we did a demo, and there's this thing called demoitis too, that you like get really into the demo, and then you're like trying to obsessively in the studio recreate the demo, but like in the studio. So what happened is like we tracked the vocals a couple of times, and I think all of us, but especially me, I was like just really unhappy with them, and just like, it's not as good as the demo. What are we gonna do? Like, it's just not, I don't know, something about it wasn't right. So I just found that like the original demo stuff was like kind of shittier, like crappier. Like I wasn't, my voice was like cracking and warmed up, and for some reason that really fit over this type of song. So we ended up like reenacting the day that we originally made it. So like I woke up at the same time. I showed up at the studio like singing too early, too much Starbucks and caffeine that I would never originally like normally do for my voice, and like super dehydrated and just like messed up, walking in and tried to recreate the headspace that I was in originally, and then we got it.
Nice.
And then I think we ended up getting it. Just like, I don't know if it's a placebo or if it worked out, but my voice just like not being like warmed up, and like I said, I'm a nerd about it and all that stuff, just like doing the opposite of all that was what suited the song best. And we actually kept some of the demo vocals in there, so like that's I thought that's cool. Maybe no one else thinks that's cool, but it was fun. A fun challenge to get that one done.
Did Schiffman, have you worked with Schiffman before, or is this the first time?
No, Daytona Bleach was Worsley.
Right.
Ryan Worsley. And Control Freak was Al from Mastercraft, Al P.
Yep.
And then this one is Dave Schiffman, and he's done like the Pup albums that everyone knows and loves. He's worked with incredible people like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Foo Fighters, System of a Down. That's what got me. So an incredible roster. So for us to have him on this record was really exciting to have his like experience.
Can we expect a similar sound throughout the album? Because Control is definitely not something I've heard from you guys before, right? It's I love it. I think it's fantastic. But I have seen the word industrial thrown around a lot, which again I love. I think it's great, but it's definitely a bit of a swerve. That's fair to say, right?
Yeah, I guess it's funny because in my mind, like we write what we're very much into or inspired at the moment.
Okay.
So like the irony is with putting out like that 9 Inch Nails track, for example, pre-Control, it fit really well, but like that's legitimately what I was listening to. Like for like the whole pandemic and pre that, I was just all of a sudden like, 13 again, and it was like, I'm only listening to 9 Inch Nails for whatever reason. It just like made sense to me.
Yeah.
And I kind of got into a more industrial kick. So like just naturally, like I guess you start writing stuff that you're listening to because you're feeling that, right? Like that's just like what you're into at the moment. So I think that that's what you hear from Control. The rest of them, I don't even know if I'd call them industrial, because for the most part, the band is really against like making plans. Like we're not what is it called, concept, we're not there yet. We're not like a concept band. We're very much like, go in, what are you feeling today, what is it, like don't give a shit about the genre, don't give a shit about like trying to do this or this, just like what are you doing, writing it. And then at the end of the process, we're just like, what are the songs we love the most, regardless of them even fitting together on the album.
Yeah.
Even though we care about that, it's like we try to go in for like the songs more than it is like trying to fit something that we want it to sound like, which we all like sometimes get up against. Like, to be honest, I think in the beginning was like, I loved Control so much because it was one of the first songs we had written that I was like, I want us to go in this direction. And I remember Zach being like, we're a band of like no limitations, so like are you prepared to want to really do that and limit us? Because I hate limitations myself. So I'm like, all right, I take it back, like let's just make what we make, and then if it ends up being whatever it is, we're happy.
Well, I really dig it, and it's never a bad time to be influenced by Trent Reznor.
Right.
I mean, especially lately.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, how, like, when did you guys record that 9 Inch Nails cover to when Control was
What cover
written?
was it? What cover was it? I don't think I've seen that.
The Hand That Feeds?
Oh, I did. Oh, maybe I did. That was a while ago, right?
I want to say it was like a couple of months before Control.
Okay.
That we put it out. Yeah. Funny enough, that cover we recorded after.
Okay.
So after like the record, we went in just to like kind of for fun. We went into the studio not completely choosing what covers we were going to do, but Hand That Feeds has been something that we were trying live, like no recording, nothing, just like for fun, what do we want to do as a cover? And we fucking love it. Like it's so fun live, and like I think people really like it and they don't expect it. I love doing covers that people do not expect. Like we've done like Chop Suey by System of a Down, and people are like, what? Like I absolutely love just shocking people, and shocking them like with deep nostalgia as well. So after like playing it a couple times and seeing the response, I actually had people even from radio that saw us live that are like, please record it. And I'm like, well, and we're always like, we'll think about it. And then when we went in to do the covers, I don't know, I guess this is like the most honest thing, but I think we were like panicking because there were, again, no limitations, right? That we were like, okay, well, at least we've done this one and we know that we love it, and we could probably almost do it live off the floor. So that's why we ended up recording that one. Yeah, it's never like super like planned, like, or meticulous, like if we do this and then control and then it's industrial and like it, like, you know, it just like worked out that way, I guess.
Can you do like an entire covers album of just System? Do a System album from front to back. Which one would it be? Do you know? If you could pick one System album, do you know which one you'd be, or is it too hard to narrow down? It would be very tough because there's not a bad album in that discography.
Yeah, I don't, and it's like, I feel like it would be important for me to choose songs. Like I'd want to do like my personal greatest hits, like not like what anyone else, like things I love, like Pizza Pie is definitely going to be on there.
So good.
Just yeah, just so I can choose like, I don't know, the stuff that I like, because sometimes on the full album I'm like, all right, you know, like I love it all and you're a fan, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know, next song.
It would be pretty funny.
It's not like Spoon. It's not like Spoon where I don't like skip a song.
It'd be pretty funny if you did that song specifically on stage in front of people who don't know that song and they're just like, is she listing off pizza toppings, pizza ingredients? That'd be pretty good.
Absolutely. Yeah, I hope that we do. It's one of those things that's annoying though. It's like almost like if you've already covered an artist, you cover them again. But I don't know. No limitations. Sure, I'm down.
We'll figure it out. Maybe that's something we can arrange here at Communal Creative Studios.
What I need you guys to do so that the band is more willing is for you to personally be like guys, for you guys to even play our songs anymore. You need to come to the studio when you're here and play Pizza Pie, and then they'll be like, oh crap, well now we have to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
they won't see. Hopefully they won't see this interview, and this is just like a plan, you know, between all of us.
We have this awesome green screen at the studio that we record in here in Red Deer. That would be okay. There's, I think, idea number 2 that we've got. This one doesn't need a lot of working out.
Song's like barely 2 minutes too, right? So you just
take no time at all.
Yeah. Now think of this. You put us on
the green screen
stage.
Okay, yeah.
No.
On the stage.
Okay, actually, yes. It's a green screen, but also it's a dunk tank, and we play Pizza Pie.
Okay, all right.
And the dunk tank is filled with pizza sauce.
And we eat pizza.
And then it's a big
I
pizza.
like it.
Okay.
Yeah, and people can like dip in. Oh, there's like a spigot in the bottom.
Yeah.
For marinara. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, spigot marinara.
We've got work to do. We've got serious work to do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, congrats on the new song. I mean, it sounds like you guys have an incredible year coming up. It was really nice to see your mom's live reaction to the song. Was that today?
No, that was like when it was first.
Yeah,
out.
You just posted it.
But just posted yesterday.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah.
I think, I posted it today. Because I just forgot about it, and I was like, actually, maybe people want to see this.
Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. It was awesome.
Yeah, thanks. My mom is really cute. She's like at the front of shows headbanging really hard, and like kind of sometimes when I'm on stage I have to be like, Mom, can you like chill for a second? Like you can't be grabbing me while I'm playing.
Do you come from a musical family or?
I would say kind of. Like
okay.
I was really raised around music in terms of like ABBA, Celine Dion, Arabic music, like blasting and dancing in my house and stuff. But in terms of them being musical, that was like my own venture. But my brother, like he's older than me, and he played guitar since I was a kid, like before I was ever musical. And so to me, I was like, oh, that's so cool. And here I am.
Well, it sounds like your parents, even though they may not have been musical themselves, had nothing but encouragement for both of you, right? No? Okay. All right.
So you want to be a rock star?
Well, like, as I said, I am Arab. And so just culturally, I think, and I was born in Syria. So coming here from there as an immigrant, I think it was just very unexpected and foreign that like that would be my choice of occupation. But they've definitely come around to it.
Well, it definitely looks like it.
Kind of sounds like a similar story to a guy who kind of did okay. Like it sounds kind of Freddie Mercury-ish a little bit.
Oh,
in this, right?
Yeah.
Same way, and
parents were super against it.
Super against it. And,
all right.
yeah.
yeah, it's been a ride, but I would say for the most part they're very supportive. Like it's a hard career, like they're not wrong, but
Yeah.
if you really, you gotta really want it.
So how old were you when you came to Canada?
I was 10 months old.
Okay. And then what about when you first noticed that you had a voice? What was there somebody else that stood up and was like, yeah, she's got something here? Like, was it, how did you discover it?
I have literally, like, my parents had a video camera, so I should post this stuff. Like I have videos of me being like, I don't know, probably 3, and I'm just in a corner by myself singing. Like I just like not to anyone, but I would just be like, oh, I love my backpack. Like just so weirdo, just like singing to myself. And I have videos where I'm just like no one asked me to sing, but all of a sudden I like burst into song as responses as a child. So I don't really know where or why it came from. And I don't necessarily think my parents were even encouraging. It was just like a weird thing that I did. And as I grew up though and got into like more of like my own music, which would have been like pop stars like Spice Girls and Britney Spears, all I did all day was, do you remember those like silver boom boxes that everyone had, and you had a giant entertainment center? It was like right in the middle of it. I remember for like my whole childhood, since I didn't like, it wasn't times of CD players yet, that I would have headphones and I would plug them into the big thing and I would stand in the middle of the living room because there was, I don't know, I guess I didn't think to get a chair, but I would just stand there listening to Britney like obsessively intently and just like learning every word, every like way she sang it, and then just like practicing over and over to nobody but myself. So I don't think I ever was encouraged to necessarily like sing publicly or to other people. I think I was just so obsessively into it that eventually I wanted to do that.
Do you remember what the first music or album beyond the pop stuff was for you?
If I'm gonna be like fully honest,
yes,
other than like other than like Arabic music that my parents were listening to,
yeah,
I want to say it was like The Lion King.
Okay, all right.
It's not that exciting, but like, you know, like you had Disney albums and then it was like it came on CD.
Yeah.
I feel like it was Lion King, and then it was just stuff my parents were listening to. Like I didn't even like it. Like I might get hate for this, but like I remember they had like Bryan Adams CD, they had Elton John. I'm sure I'll get roasted because my band doesn't agree, but like as a kid I was like, I'm not into this, but like as a kid, if that's the only CDs you have, then you're listening to them.
Yeah.
So I like listened to them anyways. Bonnie M, ABBA I loved. And then when I finally got old enough to have my own stuff, I had like a Spice Girls cassette tape. And then eventually I like remember crying and begging my parents to buy me Hit Me One More Time by Britney.
There you go. Did your kids listen to Bryan Adams when they were youngsters?
No.
There's no shame in saying that.
I don't think there's any shame in that.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
You're not going to get roasted for that.
But I think it was like, that's the point, is I was always on my own journey to music. Like it wasn't like, I don't know, I was inspired by my parents, but I was always kind of on my own road to like what I like. When I was older, then I got into like alternative rock, so like System, or Korn. Korn was my favorite band. I still love Korn. Being obsessed with them. I remember like, I can't believe I'm saying this. I never thought I would like say this out loud, but I remember being so proud and excited in my adolescence, teenager, of like Steal This Album by
there you
System
go.
of a Down, and just being like, yeah, so cool. And then the rest is history.
Were these albums that you would like openly listen to at home, or were you kind of sneakily listening to them?
By that time I had my own, like,
you're good to go.
It would be like a single CD boombox in my room.
Yeah.
So I had that, I had a CD. And by then, like, my parents were always technologically advanced. So MP3 CDs. Like I remember I I don't know if everyone had this. I thought I was the only one and I was special. So tell me if I'm wrong. But like I had a CD player that could read MP3s.
Oh yeah.
Which meant I could have 100 songs on one CD.
Yeah, those are the
so
days.
It wasn't special. Okay, so but it was also the worst. I remember my next button was broken eventually. Like it was like because you're like next, trying to get like to song 56.
Yeah.
On a like thing that you made. So no, I was kind of allowed to listen to whatever I wanted to, but I felt uncomfortable if they were like saying things that I would be like, oh, like it's like kind of your parents covering your eyes
totally
in a sex scene, but I would kind of just like make sure I turn it off in that moment because it was too awkward to want to deal with.
You had an album that with the Devil's music, right?
It was the Devil's music, yes, indeed.
And I remember being handed, I think a burned copy of Eminem, and I was like, oh, Mom's not gonna hear that.
There's two albums I had. I remember when I first brought Appetite for Destruction home, and of course at that time, like some of the other songs, I knew it had the parental advisory on it, but when you play It's So Easy and it gets to the part of the fuck or fuck off, and I like my parents were in the room. Listen, I had no idea that part of the song was coming, so that one didn't last. That one didn't last too long.
That one got smashed up,
that one was gone pretty quickly.
All right.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking.
I actually had this. Have I told you the story about the cassettes getting buried?
No. You buried them?
I didn't bury them.
Wow.
So I had a friend of mine that borrowed, the old cassette logic or case logic cassette things. So I don't know, whatever those held like 12.
The plastic,
plastic things. So I had a buddy of mine borrow all of my cassettes and bring them home, and it was like Alice Cooper and Metallica, and I'm an 80s
the
kid.
Devil's music.
All the Devil's music, and his family was very religious. His mom was extremely religious, and she found this box of tapes and saw the covers of them, thought it was purely satanic, purely evil. She wanted it banished and gone. His dad ran a tree farm.
Holy shit.
She had him dig a hole and bury my cassettes
in hell.
That's it.
That's so dramatic.
My buddy felt so bad.
Throw them out.
Buried. Not just throw them out. Buried. Gone. Done.
Wow. Did you ever get them?
I never got them back.
Oh, that is really brutal.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
You shouldn't have labeled that the Devil's music, though.
That was my mixtape.
Pete's collection of the Devil's music.
Funny. To be fair, my brother is like a heavy metal fan. Like he is just into like metal heavily. So in a way, since he's older, I had like a buffer.
He paved the way.
Like, he did, because to this day she's like, what is this devil music? Like she's funny, she doesn't really think that anymore, but at the time, I don't know if it's for you, at the time my parents were like, is he mentally ill? Like listening to metal was like, something is wrong with my child. I feel like she's still like, what is wrong with you? But for the most part, I think anything I was doing felt mild, like listening to like Korn instead of Amon Amarth or whatever he was listening to at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I think it's chill because like, I don't know, being raised by it. I think my mom was just grateful for my mildness.
But it's what we talked about that with the Super Bowl halftime show and how far things have come. Because again, Metallica was the Devil's music when I was a kid, and now Metallica's mainstream and played everywhere at hockey. You'll hear Master of Puppets at a hockey game, which is crazy. And then there you've got the Super Bowl, and you've got Dre and Eminem and Snoop and all this gangster stuff, and it's just mass mainstream now. And
they didn't have the
totally
best
cool
reputations in the mainstream at one point.
Yeah,
that's true. I will say I never thought we'd hear.
Great.
I never thought we'd hear Amon Amarth mentioned on the podcast.
Great.
So that's kind of cool.
All right, we can get into some metal. I am, because of him, I do love metal. I got to go to Vakken Metal Festival as my college graduation present. He bought me a ticket. He's like, you have to pay your own air flight, but I'll buy your walk-in ticket. And so I got to go in 2014, and it was like the most incredibly beautiful thing. And like drunk, like incredible festival, the nicest people, and I can't wait to go back. It's like a pilgrimage for metalheads.
What were your like band highlights from that festival?
Five Finger Death Punch was incredible. I didn't think I would love Arch Enemy as much as I did, but I did. They were fantastic. Amon Amarth was amazing. The opener, and I had no idea who they were, and then I was like, this is ridiculous, with Steel Panther, but I loved it.
Right.
the list just goes on. There's so many bands.
Yeah, it's
like
huge.
You can't even keep. I remember Megadeth was going on, and I love Megadeth, but I was so like exhausted. Like you can't, like at a certain point when it's like a sleeping festival and you haven't slept for days, it's hard. You're like, I want to see Megadeth. I felt actually during Arch Enemy, I fell asleep, and I want you to imagine this is like a festival of like,
it's huge,
hundreds of thousands of people, and I'm sitting on the dirt line. It's so dirt when it's not mud. I prefer the dirt over the mud when it's, if I'm going to be at a festival. But I fell asleep like just during a metal festival on the ground. Like that's how tired you are. It's like the music doesn't matter. I'm just like, I passed out in the middle of the ground.
There you go. Tips for festival goers of any kind: just fall asleep on the ground.
Yeah, you'll get tired enough that'll be fine.
Do you guys have any potential plans for festivals in 2022?
Yeah, we just announced Rock the Hub.
Yes, right.
Halifax,
yeah.
Which is an insane lineup. Are you freaking kidding me? Whew, I'm so like I heard about the rumor of that, and you never like believe a rumor like of a lineup or whatever. But like I'm really, really close friends with JJ Wild. I'm really, really close with Crown Lands. So like in general, that's gonna be like a party room. And then to open for Glorious Sons, who are great people, and July Talk, who I've never met, but I'm so excited. I've seen them play and they're amazing.
Yeah.
So to be again on that festival lineup, like I feel like it's like without like tooting my own horn, I don't want to make it like that. It feels like important, like especially in this like time of a break. It feels just like, yo, this is the show to be at. Like it's gonna be really, really cool.
And that's day 3 of 3, right? That's the final day, if I'm not mistaken.
We do have some other festivals that I can't talk about yet, but
that's what we want to hear. That's what we love.
But we do have some stuff coming out soon, really soon, that I can talk about it, and it's very exciting.
We can mute it. Just tell us, and we'll just mute it out.
I don't know.
He's joking.
No,
He's joking.
I'm joking.
We have a habit of asking questions that can't be answered.
And I'm the worst. I'm the worst at that stuff. So I'm like trying to be better at not like ruining people's plans.
It's hard though, right? Because I can tell you're excited for Rock the Hub, so I'm sure you're very excited to get the word out on these. And
yeah, I'm sure you can take a couple stabs and guess some of them, but I will not budge. So you'll have to wait to find out.
All right.
We could probably do that for like a solid 30 minutes, just listing off festivals that we can think of. Yeah. Okay. And watch for Sally's facial reaction, see if we can crack the code.
Nah, man, I'm going to be
poker face.
Straight face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we won't put you through that. So you're getting ready to amp up for that Mother tour. Is it just the 3 of you? Hadn't.
So, yeah, it's the 3 of us in the band, and that's the project. But we do tour with this and like additional session player to play live bass and synth and sing and stuff, because it's important to us to have that live. Like having bass, is really important. We feel.
Yeah, I agree. You had a touring member with you at that Hotel Arts show, right? I seem to remember seeing a 4th member on stage with the Monowhales.
Yeah, we did. So that is something that we hope. Like honestly, if we could afford it, we'd have 1 million musicians on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the dream, but just not that many people fit in the van. So you got to choose what you do, and we want to make sure we're bringing sound people and stuff. So it gets quite tight in there.
And where's the hometown show on the Mother tour?
For us.
Yeah.
It's at Massey Hall in Toronto.
Have you played Massey Hall before?
No.
Okay. All right. All right. Shit.
I'm just like, it's like, I'm like, yeah, it's at Massey Hall.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Holy shit.
I try not to overthink it. Like that is just like definitely a career milestone flex. Again, who knows if it'll happen, so I try not to get too excited about anything. As far as we know, it's going to happen, and if that's the case, then I'm just like, again, so grateful that Mother would have us on that. It's going to be I don't know, an unforgettable life moment for me. So I hope that like translates to the people that are there as well.
Massey Hall. Goddamn.
Yeah,
No pressure.
That's huge.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be great.
As you are booking and planning things out, I'm curious if each city that you're going to visit, if the hotels you book have to be hotels that have bidets in the
Fuck, I've never been to a hotel with a bidet. What do you like? Is that seems like it would be hard to find.
Well, obviously I know what a bidet is. I can honestly say I've never used one, but Sally seems to be very pro bidet.
Yeah. I feel like my personal Instagram has really taken a turn these days.
You're looking for a sponsorship or what?
The bidet sponsorship?
I just, in general, I'm having so much fun being completely myself, which is really strange on my Instagram. So I feel like Monowhales like go there for like, the music and all that stuff. Mine is gonna be like, you don't know what's gonna happen. And I just, like the bidet thing, and I was just like, I have to get this off my chest. So I think that everyone needs to have a bidet. I've always had one, and there are different ways to have one. So on tour, I have a portable bidet.
Nice.
And it's just like, actually, it's not the same. It's like this little, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but it's just like this little, this is what I'm talking about. Like it's say too much.
Oh, it's all good.
It's just like this little plastic silicone funnel essentially that you can put in any water bottle and then squeeze.
That's amazing.
Huh.
And now you're all imagining that's what I do.
No, I need to look into that because I've just been using the garden hose and it's not as efficient.
That sounds
no
better.
pressure. There's not as much.
Better.
Not as much pressure.
Are you familiar with the Toto 750H, Sally?
No.
Okay, check out the Toto 750H.
Honestly,
It's like a $13,000 toilet. It's fucking beautiful. Someday I will own
Oh.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Toto 750H. That's what I'm trying to get sponsored by.
I have a bidet guy. So my mom that you saw, she has a bidet guy. So everyone that's asking me, I'm like, oh, I just hire the bidet guy. He brings it in. He puts it in for you. Like, you don't have to do anything.
Shit,
so you have one at home?
Of course.
Oh,
yeah. And not only that, like I've gifted them to all my friends. All my friends have them. Like that's their gift for like their birthday, Christmas. Like you're getting a bidet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I don't think there's
mostly so I can use it. So when I go there, I have one.
For sure. Your bathroom's not up to par. Let me handle that. I don't think there's a better place to end than bidet talk, right? It's been my dream.
Yeah, I don't know what has happened here. We've had quite the fever dream of a conversation.
Well, Sally, it's been absolutely wonderful to catch up, and congrats on what's to come because it sounds awesome.
It's going to be amazing.
Thanks. I look forward to seeing everybody again.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to have you. Hopefully, you got some time.
Well,
to
we
stop
have
by
plans. We've got.
Yeah, that's true. We've got
dunk tanks and pizza sauce and spigots with marinara and bidets.
Yeah.
I love it. If we could make that happen,
perfect.
Better than Massey Hall.
I don't know about that. We'll see. All right, Sally.
Right.
Thank you so much
for the time.
No worries. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, peace.
Have a wonderful night.
You too. He just gave me the finger.
You got the bird?
I don't know.
What'd you get
He says he didn't give me the bird, and now he's giving me two of them.
There is glare there. I don't know.
There is glare.
You might be seeing things a little bit wrong. Wow. Bidet chats, I don't think was something I had on the bucket list of the old podcast chats, but there it is.
Bring it on. I can go on and on.
I do know you like your toilets.
I've still never tried a bidet. I kind of the mindset that I don't want to try one until it's the right one.
But how will you know?
Oh, I'll know.
You'll just know.
Oh, I know. I've done my research. I do have a friend that got one of those like Hello Tushy or whatever fucking things, the attachments that you add to the toilet. And I was there. I was looking at it by myself in the bathroom.
Hello Tushy?
Yeah, that's the brand. I think it's called Hello Tushy. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't seen a fucking ad for that brand?
No.
Oh my God. Yeah. They're all over. Maybe it's just me targeted ads, but
well, I will now. Phone's listening for sure.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna get.
Bidet. But yeah, I was in the bathroom at my friend's house in rural Ontario, and they're very excited that they had recently gotten a bidet, and they're like, "Yeah, go try it." And I went in and I looked at it, and I was like,
"Nope,
this isn't the right one."
Huh. So what would the right one look like?
Toto 750H.
Okay.
Yeah.
And specs? Is there what's?
Oh,
What does that have that other bidets don't?
It's not a bidet. It's basically a robot toilet.
Okay.
And it's, yeah, like I said, I think it's 10 or 11,000 American. So does pretty much everything you need it
So
to.
you'll be getting one next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Many banks are offering me many loans. Yeah, no, that was a fun chat. It's been a while since we saw Sally and the Monowhales. It's good to know that they're just really popping off now, right?
Big time. And I was excited to hear about that hotel concert experience as well. I'm glad we got into that a little bit because that's
I'd like to see
something
more
pretty
of
unique.
those.
Yeah, like honestly, I wonder if that sticks around because it is a pretty unique experience.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very excited to finally see them back in Alberta again.
Yes. Along with
much like all the other shows were announced. Like yesterday, we announced fucking Braids and Plants and Animals and who else? Who was the other one? Shaky Graves.
Shaky
God
Graves,
damn it!
yes.
Shaky Graves with Begonia.
Yes.
Holy hell! On stage at Bose? Are you kidding me? That's delicious.
And there's more.
There are more coming.
There's more coming.
You know what's nice too? We may see we have an idea of what's to come.
Yes.
All right, we're very privileged in that we have an inside eye on some of the plans in store, and it's going.
Well,
to be
you
a
like
good
getting
year.
the inside scoop. Go ahead. Let's hear what you got.
Nope. We don't need Ryan to bleep out stuff on the road to the stage. I don't think we made it this far without bleeps. I think we're good, right?
All right. Huge shout out to Go Services Inc.
And
Bose Barn Stage.
yeah, shout out.
Woo woo. What?
And of course, our producers Ryan and Riley here in Communal Creative Studios in Red Deer, Alberta. A beautiful, wonderful place that is about to get very busy.
Massively busy.
Very busy.
Things are happening. Can you talk about some of those things?
No, I don't want to.
Maybe we could hear about it next.
Wednesday?
The Road to the Stage is produced by Ryan Cooley and Riley Sur-Yin at the Communal Creative Studios in Red Deer, Alberta. In partnership with Go Services Inc., Sawback Brewing Co., Tourism Red Deer, and Bose Bar and Stage.